Hello, my name is Conor Lenehan, and I am the Deputy Fire Marshal of the Rancho Santa Fe Fire Protection District. Today I'm going to talk to you about how fire-resistant landscaping and ignition-resistant building construction in the home ignition zones can increase the chances of your structure surviving a wildfire. The 2020 California fire season was record-setting and became the worst recorded fire season in modern history. Over 4.4 million acres of the state's wildland area were consumed, 10,000 structures were destroyed, and the state lost $12 billion in property damage and suppression costs. According to the National Fire Protection Association and the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety, the first 5 feet around a structure is the most important zone during a wildfire. Most structures that succumb to wildfires are from embers. Even though a wildfire may not be near your structure, embers can still travel up to a mile away in a wind-driven fire. These embers can penetrate roof and eave vents with traditional mesh screening and ignite the attic space. They can also land on your roof and gutters, igniting leaf litter, debris, roofing paper, birds' nests, or the gutters themselves, depending on the construction type. With that said, there are a number of ways your structure can prevent ember intrusion from a wildfire and combat direct flame impingement. For starters, all new construction within the Rancho Santa Fe Fire Protection District has to be considered ignition resistant. This means you have to have a Class A roof, such as concrete or clay roof tiles, asphalt composition shingles, or a metal roof. If bird stops are required, they have to be non-combustible. If the roof has gutters, they have to be non-combustible along with the gutter screens to prevent debris accumulation. Ignition-resistant eaves have to be boxed in with stucco or comprised of heavy-duty timber. All exterior vents have to be ember-resistant and prevent the intrusion of flames and embers. Some manufacturers that make these ember-resistant vents are Brandguard, O'Hagan Fire and Ice, Vulcan, and Embers Out. Exterior wall construction must be ignition-resistant materials such as stucco, stone, block, fire-treated lumber, or cement fiberboard. All exterior glass and windows, sliding glass doors, and garage doors must be a minimum dual pane with a minimum single pane tempered. All exterior doors must be a solid wood core with a thickness of 1 3/8 inches or a minimum 20-minute rated. All gaps around garage doors that exceed 1/8 inch must have weather stripping to prevent ember intrusion. Lastly, the first 5 feet of fencing attached to a structure needs to be non-combustible. Some examples of this include stucco, block, wrought iron, and fire-treated lumber. As of January 1st, 2020, San Diego County, including the Rancho Santa Fe Fire Protection District, started enforcing the home ignition zones on all new landscaping and construction. These zones are broken up into 3 distinct zones. The immediate zone is located within the first 5 feet around the structure and is measured along a horizontal plane from the exterior wall surface. This zone shall be constructed of continuous hardscape or limited fire-resistant plantings acceptable to the fire authority having jurisdiction. Vegetation in this zone shall not exceed 18 inches in height, and irrigation is required. All combustible materials, including mulch, shall be prohibited. Mulch can ignite easily from embers and can produce enough heat to catch your building paper on fire through the weep screed at the bottom of the exterior walls. By limiting the quantity and height of vegetation in this zone, you decrease the chances of a window blowing out due to direct flame impingement against the structure. Some great fire-resistant alternatives to combustible mulch are decomposed granite, rock, gravel, sand, and bare mineral soil. The intermediate zone is located 5 to 50 feet from a structure and is measured along a horizontal plane. This zone shall consist of drought-tolerant and fire-resistant plant species and be equipped with irrigation. Vegetation in this zone shall be moderate in nature and increase in height as you get further from the structure. Vegetation should not exceed 10 feet in height, and tree canopies should not exceed 30 feet in height. Trees and large shrubs shall be limited to a maximum of 3 per grouping, with mature foliage separated horizontally by at least 10 feet between groupings. This will prevent fire from traveling like a wick from grouping to grouping. Any sort of dead vegetation needs to be removed from this zone, along with maintaining weeds to less than 4 inches in height. The use of mulch is allowed in this zone, but should not exceed 3 inches in depth. Plant species deemed highly flammable shall be planted a minimum 30 feet from any structure. Some examples of highly flammable vegetation include bamboo species, acacia species, eucalyptus species, pepper trees, conifers including junipers, cypress and cedars, and palms with fibrous tissues. Some examples of highly flammable palm species are Canary Island date palms, Mexican fan palms, California fan palms, Pindo palms, Kentia palms, Hesper palms, Mediterranean fan palms, windmill palms, and pygmy date palms. Firewood inside this zone shall be neatly stacked a minimum of 30 feet from all buildings and structures. Cords of firewood shall also be maintained at least 10 feet from property lines and not stacked under any tree canopy drip lines. The extended zone is located 50 to 100 feet from a structure and is measured along a horizontal plane. If planted with ornamental landscaping, this zone shall consist of drought-tolerant and fire-resistant plant species. Vegetation within this zone should be moderate in nature and continue to increase in height as you get further from the structure. If there is no ornamental landscaping in this zone and you abut native chaparral, then a fuel modification takes place. Native vegetation and fuels in this zone shall be reduced by at least 50% through thinning, limbing, and removal. There should be a minimum 6 to 10 feet of vertical fuel separation between the tallest shrub and lowest hanging tree branch. Any dead vegetation shall be removed, and all weeds and annual grasses need to be less than 4 inches in height. The use of mulch is allowed in this zone, but should not exceed 3 inches in height. By planting fire-resistant landscaping, maintaining the home ignition zones, and having an ignition-resistant structure, the chances of your structure surviving a wildfire increase significantly. The overall goal of these home ignition zones is to slow a wildfire down as it approaches your structure while giving firefighters a safe place to work. By limiting combustibles within 5 feet of your structure, you minimize the potential for ignition to take place from embers. Thank you very much for your time and for this educational opportunity. For more information, please visit our website at www.rsf-fire.org.